A modded...
No, wait! We watched that video! Wait. It's the same guy? He's the one that cheated? Oh, what in tarnation? Usually employed, yeah.
This is a shitty situation. It seems that no matter how good people are at the games they play, some just cannot resist the temptation to cheat. Whether it be...
I would always argue the people most likely to cheat are the ones who are very good at the game. Anything to squeak out that last little edge to be the best. I usually think like the shitters, the ones that are just like terrible, absolute dog shit at a game, are the ones least likely to cheat.
Through splicing their videos, peeking around their blindfolds, or just plain using invincibility in their hitless runs, few gaming communities can say they haven't had to deal with a cheater. The Hollow Knight community, thankfully, hasn't had to deal with many. In fact, in my numerous years as a Hollow Knight speedrunner, I can't recall any instance of someone intentionally cheating. But this case was something else. Not only was the person involved one of the more popular Hollow Knight content creators, he was respected as a top hitless runner.
Aww.
His trick to beating bosses hitless? Using invincibility. I've done a deep dive into all of the drama, and I'm grateful that my community members, specifically Whiskey and Homie, were able to translate a 33-page document containing all of it. But before we dive into the drama, some background must be given. The Pantheon of Hollowness, colloquially known as Pantheon 5 or P5, is the toughest unmodded content in Hollow Knight. It's the final challenge in the final DLC of the game. It's a boss rush containing 45 bosses total. And although it was challenging on release, Pantheon 5 has since become a playground for challenge runners. Players seek to get the fastest times, beat it with the most restrictions, or finish with the least amount of damage taken. The highest, most prestigious accomplishment of all being completing Pantheon 5 in its entirety without taking a single hit of damage.
Finally! Fucking finally!
Pantheon challenge runs are what the Chinese Hollow Knight community show the most respect for. The Chinese community lacked easy access to speedrunning resources, such as programs, mods, and guides, and as a result never developed as much of an interest in full-game speedruns as the Western community did. The first Pantheon 5 hitless run was completed just over a year after the God Because
I needed to do a couple other bosses that I didn't feel like going for.
Referred to in the Chinese community as R5, or Radiant Pantheon 5. It was completed by a player who you might not have heard of, Black Moon, who has actually completed the challenge a staggering 3 times, on top of holding speedrun world records for Pantheon 5 with no bindings and with all bindings. Impressively, 11 people have completed Pantheon 5 hitless today, and 8 of them are from the Chinese Hollow Knight community. But if you were a member of their community, you might be a little confused by this list. Isn't someone missing?
Oh, the cheater!
This player, Shi Mian-ye, meaning Snow Cotton Leaf, or as Westerners know him, Cotton, was one of the most respected players in China. Cotton is known for being the first, and to this day only, player to ever defeat any Radiants. A modded...
No, wait! We watched that video! Wait. It's the same guy? He's the one that cheated? Oh, what in tarnation? Oh, I can't believe it all comes full circle like that. Damn, what? That ruins it then. I really had a lot of admiration for him. I'm pretty sure he's even the same guy that had sex with my mom at some point. And to find out like this that he's a fraud is really upsetting. That was a super cool video they made on that guy. And not once did they mention the cheating, so I'm guessing this is a more recent discovery. In fact, I guess this may have been the guy that broke the story.
boss which was quite literally designed to be impossible. But his most renowned feat is being the second player ever after Black
How's that
Moon
more renowned
to
than any
finish
Radiance?
Pantheon 5 Hitless. So why
That was iconic.
isn't he on the leaderboard? Well, it's because he's a cheater.
Exit Prime.
On January 5th
Flabby
of this
and
year,
icy.
I was contacted by a respected member of the community, Methyl Palladium, also known as Templari in the Chinese scene, who at the time was the 4th player to complete P5 Hitless. It was concerning a post from a player who, oddly enough, was mainly known from the Celeste speedrunning community. This player, Plush, showcased a number of clips of Cotton's Pantheon 5 run which seemed highly suspicious. Let's start by taking a look at them. In this clip against Umu, Cotton swings at an Uma whose explosion immediately detonates because it is inside of a platform. Although it seems as if Cotton is touching the hitbox of the explosion, he doesn't get hit by it. In
I
this
feel like
clip against Lost Kin,
more people would have
Cotton
noticed.
gets jumped at and Lost Kin falls into him before he shade cloaks away. In this clip against White Defender, a dung ball clearly overlaps with Cotton's character. Again, Cotton activates invincibility frames from Shade Cloak, but only after the moment where he should have been hit.
So how long did he get away with this for?
And arguably most bizarre is Cotton's fight versus Flukemarm. This is weird for a couple of reasons. First, there is a clear cut in the footage where a fluke was seemingly shot directly into him. Furthermore, this strategy for killing
Wait, so he
Flukemarm,
spliced
one
and
of the
used
least
invincibility?
risky bosses in all of Pantheon 5 is terrible. All experienced players know to avoid being around the diagonals of Flukemarm as it is about to spawn flukes, and there are very clear indicators of when this is going to happen. Cotton instead casually falls directly into the path where one of the flukes spawns. And as the fluke seemingly flies into him, there is a convenient cut in the footage.
And nobody noticed this for how long? Someone more in tune with the community. How long did people get away, or how long did he get away with that? That is an extremely obvious splice. 73 years. Not long. A few months. 6 to 8 months. Took a bit. Okay. So no one knows. Literally nobody knows. It's difficult to prove. This is like super cut and dry.
Seemingly fly
Like it's a completely different... Like, look at where that thing is, and then look at where it ends up instantly.
into him.
That's a very obvious
is
splice.
A convenient cut in the footage. Methyl Palladium on behalf.
I mean, I guess it could be like a glitch with his recording.
Fluke
Maybe.
seemingly flies
But that seems highly unlikely. Because the other fluke
spawns.
also changes.
And as the fluke seemingly flies,
The top right one also fucks around. But the invincibility one's obvious. When you slow down the footage, you got hit by like 3 different things and took no damage. That one's pretty clear.
into him,
And so is
there
this cut.
a convenient cut in the footage. Methyl Palladium, on behalf of the Chinese Hollow Knight community, asked my opinion on these clips.
Thanks to Tier 1 Shrek
At
and the
the
resub
time,
story.
I was pretty certain that Cotton used invincibility in his run, but
Oh,
I was a
holy
fan
shit. God damn. They give you 100 gift subs in Civic. Yeah, that was super sweet. And it's good to see you. Fuck yeah. That was really nice. You excited for tomorrow? You're gonna cheer on the Moisty Esports boys with us? Hope you're having a good night.
of his, and I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. So before passing judgment, I posted this to my Discord server,
And thanks to the resub.
as it includes several Pantheon
Elect
5
Razor?
hitless runners and almost all of the best speedrunners in the game. Players unanimously agreed that something was very questionable about these clips. But they didn't stop there. Some members of the
Oh
community
yeah, once
began
you smell
browsing
shit, you
through
have to
his
keep
other
going.
videos
Gotta find the source of the
and
stink.
came across similar suspicious instances where it seemed like he should have been
Sleep well,
hit.
Hess.
In some cases, these were so egregious that his character was almost not even visible, as an enemy's attack nearly entirely covered his sprite. It seemed like almost every Hitless boss challenge that Cotton had done had at least one of these moments. So I told Methyl Palladium that I thought Cotton had cheated, and that top players in the Western Hollow Knight community who I showed this to unanimously agreed. Methyl told me that the Chinese community performed in-depth reviews of the videos, including creating a new mod to show enemy hitboxes. They discovered that in the Pantheon 5 video, all 4 clips had at least one frame where the
That's so sad.
Clearly,
especially because we learned about this guy and his accomplishments in the last Any Radiance video we watched.
A couple of days later,
hey, Rise.
on January 7th, Methyl returned.
Wait, Rise, isn't it like 5 a.m. over there? What the fuck are you doing awake? What a piss shit. I mean, that's one way to grieve, I guess. I'm a gamer, bro. You need to fucking rest. It is winners finals. What? You have 10 hours. I'm putting a curfew. You need to be in bed within the next 2 hours.
To my Discord, stating that the Chinese community had
I want a nice 8 hours for you.
Methyl brought forward a report detailing all of the evidence they had compiled. This report was based on analysis by many of China's best players, including Stool, Black Moon, Sawyer, and others. Cotton conceded to them that he had used invincibility, but claimed it was only because he was testing something prior to the run, and he forgot to turn the cheats off after.
I always love that convenient excuse.
When asked about the fluke marm cut in the footage, Cotton insisted it was simply because of a video glitch or low FPS. Black Moon began interrogating Cotton, noticing the inconsistencies in Cotton's statements. Cotton said he couldn't recall anything about the incident because he never felt as if he were even close to getting hit. Black Moon said that if he were so close to getting hit by fluke marm, he would definitely remember it. Black Moon also mentions the triple Nailmaster Hitless video, which is another fight Cotton seemingly used invincibility on. Cotton actually responded with anger, claiming that Black Moon was framing him and that there was an issue with
hold on, I want to read. Oof.
Judgment. Cotton began posting dozens of messages and images in a row of players coming close to getting hit but not actually taking damage, and asked Black Moon each time if these images looked like cheating to him. Cotton claimed that after the triple Nailmaster video, he pulled up the debug menu to show that invincibility was off, but Stool wisely pointed out that this proves nothing. Cotton could have simply deactivated invincibility with a hotkey before opening the menu. Cotton had not only been caught lying, but was being completely unapologetic about it. Cotton ended the conversation by saying shitty game, shitty hitboxes, and a bunch of shitty people.
Does Cotton play Overwatch now?
Cotton later claimed that shitty people was meant as a joke. It was a phrase a favorite streamer of his apparently uses.
What?
Due to Cotton's popularity in the Chinese Hollow Knight community,
you all suck.
Chinese
fuck
players
you.
were concerned about
I don't know what it means, but fuck you.
Stool, another top Chinese player, stated that he was worried about the emotional factor of viewers who blindly believed that Cotton had done nothing wrong, even though they hadn't read the report that their team had created. Imagine, for example, how people might respond if Scurry, Monsteller, or myself received accusations of cheating. Some people just
imagine he actually does get outed for cheating.
That their boy Cotton was a cheater. On January 11th, however, Cotton silently deleted his Pantheon 5 Hitless video from YouTube. And on January 14th, Cotton deleted the video from Bilibili as well, a Chinese video sharing site where he gained significantly more fame. Cotton's viewers, unaware of the cheating scandal, began to ask questions. Cotton responded to these comments saying that there were issues with the video and he would re-upload it eventually. Brum, a respected member of the Chinese community, theorized it might be possible that the Flukemarm clip was legitimate. After all, sometimes when the game lags, enemies will continue their current movement while the game is frozen, and teleport a certain distance after the game unfreezes. Brum considered the idea that perhaps this was what happened, and the Fluke's hitbox did not collide with Cotton as a result of the enemy teleporting. However, through analyzing the video frame by frame, the Chinese community found that this footage had definitely been cut on purpose, since there were no freeze frames prior to the cut. At this point, Cotton admitted that the Flukemarm cut was intentional.
Oh, baby, here it comes. Oh, I thought this was a statement from him.
In their group chat, Cotton afterward became upset and claimed that Black Moon and Methyl had a vendetta against him. Brum explained that what they didn't like was his cheating and that they didn't dislike him as a person. Methyl also agreed, saying that they were only stating facts and that there was no personal malicious intent.
Bending him over with facts and logic, eh?
Claiming that him stating it was a vendetta was only a joke. Later, Cotton was removed from the group chat for making that statement. The writer of the report on Cotton's cheating emphasizes their respect for Cotton's skill at the game, and Cotton is, without question, an excellent Hollow Knight player.
I don't think he's good.
Many high-profile cheaters, such as Billy Mitchell, Dream, and others, don't cheat to perform feats they're incapable of, but instead cheat because they feel they deserve the recognition despite not having completed the achievement. Cotton's problem was his mentality. He simply had no respect for the game. Cotton became increasingly frustrated with his own mistakes, and when he failed, it was the game's fault. And since his failures were the game's fault, it was okay for him to cheat.
Damn, Radiance is fucking this guy up in the footage right now.
He deserved to fail in the first place. But the reality is that we are not entitled to success every time. That isn't how the world works, and that isn't how games work either. Failure is a necessary part of the process of improving. Some fans of these players might insist that because they're great players they couldn't have cheated, but this couldn't be further from the case. As Cotton dedicated more time to becoming a great player, his frustration with the game grew, and so too did his entitlement, leading him to believe he deserved achievements which he simply had not earned. Various members of the Chinese
I just didn't beat Absolute Radiance because I didn't do Pantheon 5
to admit to his cheating. It wasn't until the morning of February 11th, about a month later, that Cotton issued a public apology. In this apology, Cotton told people that he deleted the Radiant P5 video due to the contents of the report created by Methyl and others. Cotton, however, still said that he hadn't meant to cheat in the first place. He further stated that it wasn't a big deal.
I'm gonna finish reading that. Oh. Okay.
He further stated that it wasn't a big deal because most people didn't mind.
Pottery?
Many Chinese Hollow Knight community members expressed disappointment with his attitude. Cotton responded an hour later. In this response, Cotton seems downtrodden. Cotton points out that he had sent an apology to Plush, shortly after hearing about the accusations, but that this apology was never made public. Cotton says that he is committed to completing Pantheon 5 Hitless legitimately and reposting the video. Finally, in the evening of the same day, Cotton issued a lengthier, more complete apology. Cotton fully conceded that regardless of his intent, the video was illegitimate. Cotton explained that what he did was wrong because it delegitimized all the other players who worked so hard for their achievements, and he promised that in the future he would never use cheats again.
Does he still run?
Cotton also stated that he was sorry for downplaying the incident up until that point, that he regretted not coming clean immediately, and that he deserved the judgment the community had handed him. Cotton also individually apologized to Black Moon, Methyl, and others. Cotton admitted that the apology came late, and it was because he was running away from the problem, but that he is now taking it as an important lesson. Overall, the Chinese community was disappointed by Cotton's behavior. They felt upset that Cotton continually played the victim in private, and only came clean once it became a public issue. Notable community members like Brum stated that Cotton had permanently broken their trust. Even completing Pantheon 5 Hitless again would not be able to mend it.
Charlie, you're probably too much of a germaphobe to get a pro massage.
Stated that the
no, just too ticklish.
Was an act of deception that went even beyond the use of invincibility. Black Moon reiterated that he and the Chinese Hollow Knight community have a zero-tolerance policy for cheating. What's my take? It was an incomplete apology. The use of invincibility was clearly intentional, and his excuses that it was a mistake by leaving invincibility on after practice is, in my opinion, not even remotely believable.
Agreed.
Just why would someone practice for a hitless run using invincibility? It makes no sense.
That's actually a really good point.
Invincibility takes away all the feedback you receive from getting hit. So if you're practicing a strategy using invincibility, you have no idea whether it's actually going to work. Cotton also limited the narrative to being about his P5 Hitless video, even though players like Black Moon and Stool questioned him about his Triple Nail Masters Hitless video. I believe that numerous videos of his clearly used invincibility, and it demonstrates that there was an intention to cheat.
Sorry to hear that.
Although it appeared Cotton sincerely felt bad about cheating, the fact that he didn't address all of the issues demonstrates, in my perspective, an attempt to salvage the situation instead of being honest and coming clean. At the end of the day, let's not forget that bullying is unacceptable, so I implore all of you not to seek out, threaten, or harass Cotton over this incident. Do not forget that there is a human behind the username. I can relate, and I know you can all relate too, to Cotton's feelings of frustration at failing to achieve the accomplishments he had hoped for. But cheating to achieve those accomplishments is no substitute for reaching them through hard work and perseverance. No matter how others perceive it, what matters is that you know how hard you pushed yourself to achieve your success. No amount of external recognition can replace that. It's important to emphasize that Cotton's actions as an individual do not represent the Chinese Hollow Knight community as a whole. This was only one individual in a community of thousands. And while the community had asked for the opinion of Western Hollow Knight players, the Chinese community ultimately dealt with this entirely on their own. I also want to give a shout out to the Chinese Hollow Knight community for putting forth so much effort to keep the scene free of cheaters. Frankly, a lot of people don't know just how impressive top Chinese Hollow Knight players are. If you're interested in seeing more of their content, I'll include links to some of their channels in the video description. Please consider checking them out. If you liked this video and want to hear more of this kind of thing in the future, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear your opinions. Thank you so much, everyone, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.
Nice. That's a shame. So does he still run? Does anyone know? Does Cotton still run? Because I don't really know how you come back from that in that community. He's resub Mr. Sim. He does still run? He runs from the embarrassment. Jesus. Yeah, I got the Patrick CC video up. So I'm guessing he does still run. I got a few people that said yes, and I'm just going to take them at their word. He's a prime dumpling. It is Mother's Day today. It is. I need to tell my mom Happy Mother's Day. He's a prime half court. How does one handle gaming and studying? Drop out, pursue gaming full-time, achieve greatness, be a League of Legends player. So which mansion did you want me to look at? Which one of these was dog shit? There's a prime. Nuxie.